Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back into my kitchen. I've been out all day long. I've been in meetings early part of the morning. I also had a lot of things that I had to do for my husband this morning. So I'm in the kitchen doing something very easy this evening. I'm going to get it started. We're going to stuff some crescent rolls. Crescent rolls, you buy them and it's like 6 of them in a pack. So let's get started and see how we do this. So we're going to put some olive oil. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. It seems like I was just on here last Friday and here is Friday again. So time waits for no one. So in advance I diced up some onions and I did some mushrooms because that's going to be the filling to go into the crescent rolls. So we're going to get this started. We're going to start sauteing this in some olive oil. I washed the mushrooms off really good because they're dirty. You have to wash them because they have a lot of dirt. And you have to, I'll show you how I wash them to cut down on time. You don't want to immerse them in water only because they lose their texture. So in this pan I'm sauteing a little bit of, let me bring in a little closer. We only have this one pan. I'm sauteing the mushrooms. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Like I said, I was in meetings most part of the morning. Things were going pretty well. And then, like I said, I had some very important matters to handle for my husband, so I went and took care of that. So now I'm back in the kitchen and I want something easy. So I'm sauteing the mushrooms and the onions in this one pan, getting them ready. I had the oven set at 375 for the crescent rolls so that they can cook in there. And I took butter and I took my brush and I brush the bottom of the pan so when I go to fold them they don't stick, the crescent rolls. Alright, so we got this sauteing. So now we're going to add our sausage. No, this isn't sausage. Yeah, this is chicken sausage. So this is the chicken sausage. We're going to add that in now. So we can all have around the same cooking time. And we're just sauteing all of this together. Make sure your lights up good so we can start doing what it needs to do. Yeah, so like I said, I had a busy morning. I need to come in here and make something light. And I'm going to take some of the stuff that I've already had cooked and I'm going to add it with this meal. So now we're going to break this sausage up a little bit in the pan. And I'm only doing the 6 croissants because, you know, I don't need to make a whole lot. And they'll last me. And then I have the frittatas left over from yesterday that I cooked. So the mushrooms and the onions are sauteing in this pan with the chicken sausage. And it's fresh Italian chicken sausage, so I had to take it out of the casing. And these are things you can do real easy and light on a night that you don't really feel like cooking a whole lot. Take your spatula, kind of push down on your sausage to help break it up because you don't want real big pieces going into the croissants. And it's cooking and it's getting there where I want it to be. And this here is the only cooking part of this meal, except for rolling the croissants into this filling into the croissants and letting them cook in the oven. You don't fill them up too much, and then it has a filling in there. So this is coming along very well. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to come on here and do something real light. I didn't know whether I was going to come in here and do anything today. And I thought about this little recipe that's quick and easy. So if you have a big family, you can do 12 of these. You can get 2 packs of the croissant, the crescent rolls. That's what they are. I'm not going to add any seasoning to this pan because you have your mushrooms. You also have your onions, which is adding a natural seasoning to it. So we're sauteing this away here. It's almost there. You don't have to wait for this to cool down before you start rolling your crescent rolls. You can do that while it's still hot. Yeah, so today on my microwave, I put on there Thankful Friday. Thankful Friday, be thankful. Somebody would love to be in your shoes, so be thankful even in the midst of whatever you're going through, because it's Thankful Friday. And we're thankful it's the weekend, and we're thankful for a lot of other things that a lot of people would be so happy to just be in our shoes and not have to go through what they're going through. So it's Thankful Friday. Be thankful. So I thought I put these up on the microwave, so when I come in the morning, I can see that. Say if your day is starting off a little rocky, you look up at that and say, whoop, I'm going to be thankful. I had my little bubbly in here today. Cheers to Friday. Oh, thank God it's Friday. So our meetings went pretty good this morning. And we still have to go back to the table a few more times. And this is what this is starting to look like. This is the chicken sausage, the mushrooms, and the onions. So this is just about ready. I told you quick. And then inside the refrigerator, I had the potatoes from yesterday, and I have some kale greens that I cooked with some turkey bacon. So those will be my sides for the night. So this is the only thing I have to cook. All right, I'm going to turn that light down. So this is just about done. Just kind of smash it down a little bit more. And like I said, you don't put a whole lot of this inside of the filling. And here I have the crescent rolls on my pizza pan. So I'm going to move this to the back burner and let that finish sauteing real quickly, because it's almost, like I said, it's almost ready to start filling these. So we're going to turn that light off. That's going to go finish cooking there. And to keep the heat away from the crescent rolls, you don't want them to start wilting, because you need that texture to start rolling them. So let's start. This is done. And like I said, you don't overfill it. So you're going to take this mixture and you're going to put some in the center of your crescent roll like that. You can always go back and add more. Let's just get them started. You can add ground beef. You can add ground turkey. You can put whatever you desire to put in yours. And when you take the bites, you're going to have that sausage in there and those onions and those mushrooms. And you're talking about something good. Now, if you have any of this left, you can add it to an omelet in the morning. Or you can put it on top of a pizza. And I haven't showed you my homemade pizza yet. I'm talking about with the crust and everything. I have to come in here and show y'all what that's like with the fresh vegetables and everything, a veggie pizza. All right, I'm going to put a little bit more, then I'm going to start rolling on each one of these. This is what's left. So we're going to turn the light down from under there. And we're going to pick this up. We're going to just start rolling. Roll, 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 roll. You're going to roll this one. Roll, 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 roll. Now remember, you have your sausage inside. This one's going to roll this way. I'm just rolling it like you would the croissant that you would cook for your for whatever you're using them for. Here's 3 of them already ready. I'm going to roll this one here. And remember, you have the sausage, you have the mushrooms, and you have the onions inside. Now, if you want to add cheese, I'm going to lay off the cheese tonight because I have been using it with a lot of different things. You roll it. You can make desserts. You can get pie fillings. You can get the croissants. You can get pumpkin mix and the croissants, and you can roll them. And you can use them like that as well. It's not really how important they're on the pan. And when you bite into this, you can have a dipping sauce. Now, these are ready for the oven. The oven is set on 375. Here they're rolled. I'm going to take a little butter and brush the tops of them so they can crisp up real nice on the top. And that's it. You stick them in the oven. Yeah, so we're going to be thankful. It's Thankful Friday, and we're going to let these go in there for 17 minutes. They're going to come out. The meat's going to be in there, so you got that. And this is what we're sticking in the oven. These are stuffed crescent rolls with mushrooms onions, and chicken sausage. So we're going to put them in here and let them start cooking. I hope I can get this timer right because I always struggle with my timer. I've been here almost 2 years now and I still struggle with the timer. So let me see what the time says on here for these crescents to finish. You're only going to cook them as long as the crescent rolls are requested because everything else inside is done. So I'm going to give them 12 minutes. So we're going to go timer. Here we go. Cook time. 12 minutes. And then I'm going to, see, I just canceled it. 12 minutes. And then I'm going to start. Nope. I have to write this down because I should be knowing this. All right, the timer has started. So it's the time and then the time on off button. That's what I have to push. So now that those are in the oven cooking, remember I did the potatoes yesterday. I have those left. I'm going to have one of those on the side with those crescents. And this is the day where you make a light meal, especially if you've been in meetings or you've had, you know, a lot to do today. And here are the greens that I've already cooked with the turkey bacon in there. These are kale, and I have those left over, so I'm going to heat some of those up on the side. And I'm going to have that along with the rolled crescent. So I hope everybody's having a really good day today. I hope, you know, whatever you went through during the week, that you have a grateful Friday and a grateful weekend, because we have to be grateful, you know, even when we don't see the blessings, we're still blessed. And we have to really be grateful for the things that the Lord do, because he doesn't owe us anything. And some of us think like, you know, maybe he owes us something, or, you know, we're this good person and he should be doing all this and that and the third for us. Not really. He does what he does for us because he loves us and he gets pleasure out of blessing his children. Just like we get pleasure out of blessing our children. You know, you go buy them something and they're so grateful and thankful, you be like, I'm going to go get you something else. You go buy them a nice pair of sneakers and they be like, oh, Mommy, thank you so much. Or Daddy, thank you so much. I appreciate these sneakers, or a new coat, or a new pair of shoes. And they come in the house and they hug you and they're so appreciative. You want to go buy them something else. Well, our Heavenly Father's the same way. And we're grateful and appreciative. And we tell him thank you. And we let him know how appreciative we are. He is waiting to continue to try to bless us. So tonight we're having the crescent roll stuffed with white mushrooms, a little bit of onions, and some turkey sausage, Italian turkey sausage. So I had to take the sausages out of the casing and I had to saute it in a pan. Now while you're doing all of that, make sure you keep your crescent rolls in the refrigerator because you want them to be firm. So when you lift them to roll them, and add butter to the bottom of the pan because you don't want any stickage when you pull them up. And if you have those Silla bags, you can put those in the Silla bags like you can do the frittatas that I made yesterday. And when you're on the run, you grab one of those and one of those frittatas for a breakfast piece of fruit, and you're good to go. Now, some of us have a more healthier appetite. We might want to add something else with it. But you have your bread, you have your meat, and then remember, I put turkey bacon in the frittatas, onions, when I did them, and I put cheese in them. So that's why I didn't add cheese into the crescents, the stuffed crescents, because I didn't want too much cheese in the meal. So while we're waiting for this to get done, I'm just thankful that I had the meetings this morning and everybody was on one page. And we got to go back to the table again. There's still a lot of loose ends that we have to discuss, to getting back into the studio and being able to produce, you know, a full track and get something out there productive and use songs for a time such as this. And it's a production, so it's not going to be overnight. I'm already aware of that it takes time and it takes a lot of work and effort. So if you buy the white mushrooms, we're going to get back on another subject. If you buy the white mushrooms, I want you to see how dirty they are. This is what they look like when you bring them home. They got dirt and dust all over them. What you don't want to do is immerse them in water. You take a paper towel, you damp it real good, and it's a little time consuming, but it's worth it. And you clean them off like this, and you get all of the dirt off like that. You don't want to put them in water, because if you put these in water, they're going to get soggy. They're not going to hold up under the cooking. Look at all the dirt that's coming off. So you may have to go back and get a couple more paper towels before you're done cleaning all of your mushrooms off and getting all of the dirt, because these come from the ground as well. So I want you to see what it looks like after you do the paper towel compared to what it looked like when I first came up. See how clean that is? So you have to clean these because you don't want all that dirt and grit in your food. And then you just pop this little thing off. You pop that out. You don't eat that, you discard that. Or you might want to throw it into a pot of soup or something later. And then you take all of that out and you cut this up. This is what you eat. And then when you have the onion and you want to do a lot of little slices, you take your knife and you go diagonally, then you go horizontal. You hold the onion together and you cut those lines in it, and then you lay the onion to the side and you start slicing these little pieces off. That way you don't have to keep stopping and slicing and cutting and slicing and cutting and slicing. So we do have some of this left over. Like I said, you can either put it in an omelet tomorrow morning, or you can take a little small piece of crust. You can make yourself a little small pizza. So in the kitchen, nothing ever goes to waste. So before I put the crescent rolls down into the cookie sheet, my pizza pan, I brush the bottom with some, I use Smart Balance. And then before I put them into the oven, I also brushed the top of the crescent rolls with some Smart Balance. And like I said, what you do with that, you take what you have left this Friday. You don't want to do a whole lot of cooking. So like I said, I had the frittatas left from yesterday. There's 4 of those left, and they were really good with the salsa and the organic sea salt tortilla chips. Like I had that with that yesterday morning. And then like I said, the other night, I cooked me up some greens, and I put my smoked turkey, and these things are tender. And you put this on the side with your meal, and you have a complete meal tonight. So the only thing you really are cooking, so you have your bread, you have your egg, you have your bread, and then you have your green, you have a vegetable on the side, and then you pick whatever you want to eat. I got these little packs of I went and got these little packs of Mrs. Fields chocolate chips. I think it's 5 in the pack, a real big one. So I'll stick these in the oven later. Probably a good movie. Watch that. Like I said, I had to do a lot of things for my husband today, and it's an honor to be able to do those things for him. I did those things before I went and took care of what I needed to take care of, because that is priority. So I put these in the oven. And I think you just put them on like 350 or something, 325. You preheat the oven, and then you put them in there for 10 to 12 minutes, and you get you some cold milk, and you got a good dessert. So that's probably what I'm going to have for dessert tonight. So I'm just saying, let's be grateful. You know, we live in a time where people just take stuff for granted, and they feel like maybe they're owed something. And like whatever God does for them, He just should be doing for them because of who they are and what they represent. But let me tell you, somebody would love to live and be in your shoes. Let me take a little peek. Oh boy, they are browning up. And then if you want to put more butter on top, when you bite into it, you can. Or you could take the mango. I have some mango salsa in here, or you can take a spaghetti sauce, or you can also take, when they come out, if that's what you want, you can make it like a little pizza. You can add your spaghetti pasta sauce on top, and then if you want cheese and you don't want a lot of cheese, you can take this and sprinkle this on top as well. And then that will give you the cheese that you want. And then you turn that into a pizza. And let the kids come in the kitchen and help you make stuff like this. They would love to roll those crescent rolls. And they're not expensive. And they can make their own little pieces out of them. Let them roll them. And then at the end, they can add their sauce, or they can put that on before they put that in. You can add the sauce before you put it in. And then you can sprinkle this on the top. This is the spaghetti cheese on top. And then that's going to be another meal you can get out of that. And then throw a salad with it, because this is Friday. And I'm telling you, they are going to love that. So the meat is already cooked. The mushrooms are already cooked. The onions are already cooked. Excuse me. So all we're waiting for now, and it's not like you have to wait for all of that stuff to cook inside. So I did a lot of prep work ahead of time. I got the mushrooms ready because, like I said, they were so dirty. You have to clean them. You take a wet paper towel, you clean them off. Then I had to slice the onions. Everything's time consuming, and this clock be running so fast. You be thinking you have a whole lot of time, and you look up at this clock, and it's a done deal. So if you can do your prep stuff ahead of time, it's good. Not even if you're not coming on camera, do it in the morning before you go out. So when you come in, all you gotta do is throw this stuff in a pan, unroll your crescent rolls, unroll them and set them out, and then keep them in the refrigerator nice and cold until you're ready, because you got heat in the kitchen from the oven. So that's going to take away from the firmness of the roll. And you don't want it too droopy, so when you start to roll it with that hot meat inside, it won't just fall apart on you. It'll stay in place. We have 1 minute and 36 seconds left, and then we're going to take these out, and they're going to be done. And they look fantastic. So another easy meal for a Friday. I feel like it was Friday a couple days ago, because I was on here last Friday as well. And it looks like the time, where is the time going? We're almost at the end of January, and we're in the new year. And I hope everybody's having a good new year, pushing past the obstacles, because they're going to be bumping you and pushing you. And you're going to have to make up your mind. You're going to push past those obstacles. And if you have anything that you're working on, you're going to have some stuff that's going to happen in between trying to get it done. Don't think you're going to go in there and just get it done and it's going to be a piece of cake and ain't nothing going to go wrong, because that's not how it's going to happen. But you can get it done with persistence and a made-up mind that you're going to get it done. We have 32 seconds on the clock for these to come out of the oven. I'm going to let you get a good look at them before I take and go off of here. I'm glad I was able to come back in here. If it was anything major tonight, so I'm going to have one of the potatoes from last night, and that was the egg, and you put that in the oven and you let that cook. And then I have some, I think it's kale greens with some turkey bacon in that, and I cooked that in a chicken stock. Oh, there's our beeper. Here we go. This is your done product. This is stuffed inside. Let me cut one open so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to hop off of here, because my time is just about up. So we're going to cut down the middle here, let you see what it looks like. Oh boy, is it hot too. So we're going to clear that and okay, we'll take care of that. So this is what it looks like inside. There's the sausage. Ooh, it's hot. Take a bite of that, dip it in some spaghetti sauce or whatever you want, and you have a blessed rest of your Friday. Stuffed crescent rolls. That's what's for dinner tonight. Peace out. Leave me a comment. Love you. Subscribe. Love you with the love of Christ. Be grateful. Woohoo!